All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into a children's story that is, believe it or not, a surprisingly deep masterclass on something we all have to deal with: how to be a good guest. Now, this single line right here, this is everything. It completely reframes what seems like a simple little sleepover story into this high-stakes puzzle. See, Roy's isn't just having a bad day. He's actually trapped. He's forced to repeat it over and over until he learns a really important lesson.
So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to solve this mystery by breaking down all the little social tests Royce faces over at his friend Maker's house. You got to think of it like a video game, right? Every time he messes up, it's a failed level, and he's forced to start all over again.
Okay, so the very first challenge kicks off the second Royce walks in the door. And right away, he kind of sets the tone for the entire visit. And there it is, our first major red flag. I mean, sure, it's a funny moment, but it's also a super clear signal that Royce just hasn't thought practically about this whole thing. Packing like this for a single night just shows his social awareness is, well, it's a little bit off from the get-go. What's really interesting now is how quickly we see this jarring contrast. At the lunch table, he's the perfect guest. He's got his please and thank yous down pat, but that politeness just totally clashes with the chaotic lack of planning he showed just a few moments before. The kid is a walking contradiction.
Ah, and here's the piece of the puzzle we needed, courtesy of Mrs. Chan. This one little comment completely changes how we see Roy's. It tells us that his good manners, they're not the default. They're an exception to the rule. So he's capable of getting it right. He's just really inconsistent, which makes his whole challenge that much more fascinating.
So this all builds into the second, and you could argue much trickier challenge: figuring out the rules of somebody else's house. You know, after spending a ridiculous amount of time just fiddling with his hair, Rajhois completely fails a huge test of guest etiquette. He leaves the bathroom an absolute mess. We're talking water everywhere, trash on the floor. He's basically treated this shared space like his own personal disaster zone. And see, the thing is, Roy's isn't just being messy. He's breaking a fundamental social rule. Guest etiquette is like this invisible agreement we all make. You respect the places you're invited into. By leaving that mess, he's pretty much sending a clear signal that he doesn't respect his host's home. And this just perfectly illustrates the main problem in this challenge. Royce thinks the rules from his house just magically travel with him wherever he goes. His whole defense for being loud is, well, my mom lets me. He just doesn't get the most basic part of being a guest. Your rules don't apply here. You have to adapt. All of these little failures, the packing, the mess, the noise, they've all been leading up to this: the final boss. The biggest, most difficult test Royce has to pass if he has any shot at breaking this time loop: the dinner table. Whoa, this is a huge social mistake. He hasn't even tried the food that was made for him, and he immediately rejects it and starts making demands. You know, this isn't just being picky, it's incredibly disrespectful to the person who spent time cooking that meal. And then he says this. I mean, come on, it's not even a request. It's a super specific multi-course order you'd give at a 5-star restaurant. The sheer audacity of this moment is the absolute pinnacle of his bad guest behavior. He's totally forgotten he's a guest and is acting like a paying customer. But right here, in this moment of total failure, he's given the key. Mrs. Chan hands him the explicit instruction, the literal cheat code he needs to beat this level. And it's so simple: just be gracious and at least try what's put in front of you. So, with all his mistakes laid out for us, we now have the complete walkthrough. This is the cheat sheet Royce needs to finally get the lesson and break free from this never-ending sleepover. And look at this. These 4 steps line up perfectly with every single one of his failures. Pack smart, clean up after yourself, respect the house rules, and be a gracious eater. It's a crystal clear roadmap that directly fixes every single mistake he made along the way. And this is the magic moment. This is the turning point. By finally following the rules of being a good guest, by just taking that one polite bite, he doesn't just pass the test. He actually discovers something new and good. His world literally gets bigger, all because he was willing to be a good guest. And the story wraps up with this direct praise. This is it. This is the level complete screen. He has finally learned the lesson, he acted on it, and he earned the reward of being told he's a good guest. And with that, you have to assume the time loop is finally broken.
So the real takeaway from all this isn't just about how to act at a sleepover. It's a metaphor for all of us, isn't it? It kind of makes you stop and look at your own life and ask, what unspoken rules might I be missing? What social level am I stuck on, just waiting to learn the right lesson to finally break through?